Peace. Welcome to Brick by Brick Behind the Creator. I'm Ryan Johnson, one of the co-founders of 361 Commission. I'm here today with Devon Inman, founder of TIRADòR. Did I say that correctly?
Yo, you said it right.
All right. Tell the people, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? We about to talk some real stuff today. You know what I'm saying? Hope I can influence anybody that's out there and everything like that. So, how's everything with you?
I'll be good, man. We're going to dive in. I guess before we start, though, I just want to tell everybody a little bit about 361 Commission and how we came up with the series. And Dev, you know, we're a gaming and content company. We started off doing gaming events, founded in 2019, so we've been around for a few years. Ended up starting managing content creators and started creating our own content. And as we started thinking about the content, it was animated series, game development, then just, you know, skits and different things using our gamers and content creators. As we started trying to jump into the space, we started meeting so many people. We said, we gotta find a way to showcase these creators. We got with Manville TV, we started brainstorming ideas, and we said, we're gonna come up with a series. And so the whole thing about this is really to give you and your brand exposure. You know, we bring people on here who deserve they flowers, as they would call it on Drink Champs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But really be able to tell people your story and show them the process of how you create. We wanna give them that lowdown. So we're gonna jump right in. We got a little bit of time, but feel free, give them the rip.
Got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what is TIRADòR? How did you come up with the name, and what does it mean to you?
We gonna jump right in.
Straight
off the boat with it. All right. I'm gonna go from the bottom.
Okay.
So, TIRADòR, it means infinite amount of things to anybody. I treated the name as like an art piece. You go to a museum, you could, like, one or two people could look at the art piece and be like, they could get the same meaning of it. But if you ask like the 15th person that looked at that art piece, it's not gonna mean the same thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's how I treated the name. And it pretty much, to me, how I elaborated on the name, it was so called like somebody that takes over opportunity. Mm-hmm. So pretty much like, if you feel as if like you want to do something, you know what I'm saying? Prime example, what you did with the 361 Commission. You feel what I'm saying? You took a risk on something. That's taking a shot. What did Steph Curry do? He takes shots.
Shooter.
He takes the most outrageous shots. You shooting, but he's taking that risk to do these shots because I have the confidence to do this, and this is what I want to do.
Gotcha.
That's how I came up with the name. TIRADòR means shooter, so that's how I came up with the name of it, and that's what it means to me. To just take any opportunity that you want to do in life and just go for it. Don't hesitate, because if you hesitate, that's how you get hurt. And we play sports, so you know, like, if you hesitate on a play, that could be your last play. So you better go 100 on this. You know what I'm saying? Even if you make a mistake in life,
gotta be aggressive.
It has to be a aggressive mistake. A mistake that's just gonna be like, all right, I learned from this, let me build off of it, and then let me prosper now.
Now, how did you come up with the name though? How did you pick it?
So I started off doing photography.
Okay.
So my photography name was Shooter Simpson. So I was doing photography for, I think I was doing it like 2016 to maybe like pretty much until COVID hit, but it was like on and off. I wasn't really serious with it. Like, I was into cameras, I always wanted to set up shoots. I couldn't get shoots, so I'm just like, I gotta figure out what to do. So I just started like going out, just taking random pictures with film cameras and stuff like that. And then that's when COVID hit. So when COVID hit, it was just like, yo, nobody's outside. So I'm like, yo, what am I about to do? Let me figure this out.
And you put all that together like pre-COVID. So we talking 2 years ago. But I'm just saying the brand, all the progress you made so far is in 2 years you talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't even count the first year.
Gotcha.
2020, I don't really count it because it was just a trial and error. Let me see how this shit goes. Excuse my language. Let me see how this goes. It was like something I'm like bumping. I have all this extra time. Unemployment was hitting. You can't deny that. You feel what I'm saying? So I was just like, if I'm gonna take this unemployment break, I'm gonna pay my bills. and I'm gonna just invest in this. Because what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just buy clothes, because that's what I was doing at first. I was just like, yo, I'm wasting all this bread on clothes, and this fly drip is cool, but it's just like,
you wanted to create your own.
Yeah, I could create my own, because what I'm getting, everybody else is gonna have. And then on top of that, it's just like, I could possibly make something that's be so meaningful that somebody can relate to.
So let's talk about that. So what's your style of fashion, right? Like, and who would you say is your typical customer, or who is the person you want to see ideally wearing TIRADÓR?
I want to see my idols wearing TIRADÓR.
Okay.
Like, I want to be able to present them this, have the same conversation that we're having now, and just be like, yo, this is what this means to me. You feel me? Because it's a lot of people who are like, I'm not a lot of people who are idolized, but it's a lot of meaningful things that.
Who would you talk about? Like, give me some specifics.
Idolize. Well, people who are like my parents. The two off rip. You feel what I'm saying? Like those two, but they already wearing it. They seen the vision. They was like, all right, this boy doing something. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I know that makes you proud when you see your mother and father wearing your brand.
Yeah, but you know it's not even that, because I know off rip, like, it's something positive, so they're gonna support it regardless. But it's just like they really believe. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what's just like, all right, now I gotta really like push this, because they asking me now like, yo, what you about to drop next? So I'm just like, I got the pressure on y'all on my back asking me what I'm about to drop next. Like, the people in like the everyday person is cool, but it's just like y'all on my back with this. Like, so now it's just like I gotta step up. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just more motivation for me. You feel me? So that, but tell
me your style. Tell me your style of fashion though. Let's go there. Like, what would you?
Very simplistic.
Okay.
You feel me? Like, I'm a like a aesthetic type of guy. Okay. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just very, very like, if it lays on you perfect, it's for you.
Got you.
Not everything is for everybody. You feel what I'm saying?
So where am I wearing it though? Like, if
why are you wearing it?
Where am I wearing it to the club? If I'm wearing it to school, I'm wearing it to sleep. I could wear it anywhere. You feel like it's versatile?
It's versatile. Gotcha. And then like what I'm about to produce next is just gonna be like, all right, if I'm in prep school, I could wear this to prep school. If I don't feel like wearing the uniforms, you feel me? It's like that. Like, I could wear this to the court, to the gym. I could just bring this on just to go grocery shopping.
What's your favorite piece so far?
Yo, I don't have one.
You're gonna have to pick one by the time it's done, because we're gonna talk about the creative process to get there. Yeah. But I want you to think about that question.
I don't really have one.
Okay.
Nothing has yet to be like, yo, this is it. Like, it's close to it, but it's not it. And I didn't even drop it yet. Gotcha. But I seen what my mind could do.
Gotcha.
That's what I was excited about. I seen where my mind could elevate to. You feel what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say it's my favorite piece, but it's like it pressed my mind to like go there. I'm like, all right.
Gotcha.
Because I was hearing a lot of no's about what I was doing, and I was just like, yo, what is it? And I was just like, I gotta strategize. I gotta figure this out.
So I guess we talked about it a little bit when you said you kind of just in the last 2 years have jumped into the industry in a more formal way. What's the biggest challenge been for you so far? Because I think one of the things that is going to make this one of our dopest episodes is a lot of people, when they think about starting a business, one of the first things they probably go to is food or fashion, right? And so I think you telling them, as you having so much success, because I mean, we see the product and we see the quality. We can talk about your partnership a little bit later, but tell people what's been the most challenging thing for you.
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely transparent. The business aspect. The business aspect. That's my next puzzle, and that's why I was like, yo, that first year don't really count. Gotcha. Because I'm just freeballing. Like, I'm just jumped off the cliff. I'm just like, all right, where this wind is about to, I'm soaring. Where am I about to land?
So break that down for me though, right? So go business. So are you talking, when you buy your inventory, are you talking, your bookkeeping, your financial statements, your accounting, just think about profit?
It's just, one thing I'm gonna emphasize to people is just make sure you stay organized. Make sure you stay organized.
That's important.
That's very, very important. Make sure you know where everything is going and have everything written out just for yourself.
You know what we had to do when we started this? It's 5 of us. It's me, my brother, and my 3 first cousins. We created a spreadsheet. My brother made us create a spreadsheet. So every time we made an expense, We had to put it on a sheet, who did it, how it splits down the date, save the receipt down to Google Drive, just so we could organize it. Because at the end of the year, when you file the taxes, you got to do things correctly. You got to file your LLC, you got to get your taxes, all these different things that people don't know. So you're right, the business side of it is a challenge.
Because the creating part and not reposting, but like sharing it on Instagram and then having people copy it, that part is just fun. That part is honestly fun because that's what you want to get back down to anyway. But it's just handling business. That's the part where it's just like, all right, business is just, it could fold people.
Of course.
It could, the business, when people see the business after, they be like, yo, why am I not making what you want to make? And that's one thing I can honestly say. When I first got into this, I wasn't in this for the money. I didn't.
It's a passion.
I didn't care about the money because I'm just like, yo, like if y'all support it, y'all support it. I remember only having 3 consistent customers for a while, and I'm just like, all right, cool. But these 3 people was just going hard. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and this is early, like my first T-shirt. But then it was so crazy because after my first T-shirt, I was like, yo, I got to tell a story. That's what's going to like bring people in.
You just hit on something, because I think you talk about this, so many different brands, right? Fashion is $1 trillion industry. $1 trillion on, I think Shopify said on e-commerce it was like 600 something billion, right?
That's
last year. Shopify. So
people doing PayPal.
How do you make your brand pop, right? Like you jumped ahead of some questions because how do you make it? No, because this is what we want, right? I think that's one of the challenges we talked about. A lot of people want to do it, but how do you bring your brand out? What are some of the things? Not giving away your secrets, but what would you tell people? Like, what's your mind going through when you're thinking about doing it?
It's just anything that I'm doing is just like I'm telling 2 stories. Through the pieces, I'm telling my story. Through the art, I'm telling a whole different like story that I always like had in my head since I was like a kid. Like I always. Like, you could ask my moms, you could ask anybody. Like, as a kid growing up, I used to tell my mom, like, the craziest dreams, yo. Like, and it was, like, blow her mind. Like, yo, how are you thinking about this? So then, like, as I got older, like, I didn't watch anime. Only thing I probably watched, I was, like, close to anime, was Power Rangers and Barney. But other than that, I was into, like, real live movies, bro. Like, I was into, like, Bad Boys, of course. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Men in Black. Those are my first 2 movies that I'm jumping into. Wild Wild West. So I'm just like, yo, I gotta tell a story that's gonna be like.
Will really thought he was Mike Lowry though recently.
Yeah, that was
my bad. I had to drop it in there.
Hey man.
but nah, my bad. But go ahead, keep going. No. So you were telling your story.
Yeah. So it was just like, I'm like through the visuals that I'm producing, I'm telling a story. And if you really like go back, if people go back and look at the first one that I ever did, it was just like, yo, like, what is this? It's just like, at first it looks like
what was it?
It was just it looks like a behind the scenes video, right? That's what it looks like at first.
You talking about the shooting, when you first started shooting? Gotcha.
My photography, or no, I'm talking about when I started shooting for this.
Yeah?
Yeah, so this is how pretty much I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tell my story through this now. So I'm gonna tell my story, and then I'm gonna create a whole different story that I could possibly turn into a movie. And I want to tell you about that because that's my long-term goal, is like to direct a movie.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I haven't done anything towards it yet, but it's just like what I'm doing is what I want to bring in collectively.
So you truly are a creator. Like, this is a part of you, like you said, expressing your art. You do it this way, and you do it through the video and the photos and films. That's dope.
Yeah. So
that's dope.
And I'm thankful for like the photographers that I'm working with, like, because like they want to expand their creativity too. They want to test their limits and stuff too. And it's just like, they trust me, I trust them. So it's just like, yo, it's like, boom.
It's hard to find good people you can count on.
It is good. It is. I'm not gonna lie. But it's just like, but when you do, hold it. And if y'all going through some shit, work it out. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro, because it's just like, y'all both is so powerful. You feel what I'm saying? Any differences could be settled.
Definitely.
I
think that's real.
You didn't take nothing from me. You didn't rob me. You didn't do nothing to my family. You didn't do nothing to my dog or nothing. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have no animosity towards you. Let's just come back together. We going. If you gotta stop talking for like 2 months, go ahead, cool, whatever. But bring that shit back together. Bro.
Yeah, it's about communication. For
yeah,
sure.
bro. Because there's so much things that I seen powerful people do together, and I'm just like, yo, I want to feel that. You feel what I'm saying? Like just seeing like my idols, like Rugy, ASAP Rocky. Like I've been seeing like these powerful things that they've been doing. Like, and that's just some or whatever. That's just two. But it's just like, yo, y'all did powerful things, and y'all did it so like subtly. It wasn't loud. It wasn't loud. It was subtle.
I like that, subtle. That's a word I'm definitely with. Let's switch gears a little bit. So, how do you stay up to date on fashion? And you talked about ASAP Rocky, but who are some of the designers that you watch, like you think about how you design?
I usually watch my peers. Like,
Who?
Like Vel, Zir, Variant, Anti, Better Views, some more other brands.
And these are all local brands, like here in Jersey?
These are all in Jersey. I get influenced by that. Like, I pay attention to my idols because I envision myself as them or in their shoes. It's just my character, just in their position. And it's just like, I'm like, all right, this is possible. He's a human being just like me. I'm like, this is possible. I just have to be consistent and keep my faith in God. Like, it's consistency.
Gotcha.
It's consistency, man. Like, consistency is the hardest thing because it takes a lot of patience. And people don't got that. We live in a fast food era. We live in a fast fashion era where everything comes and goes. Quick.
You talk about like Uniqlo, H&M, where you buy these $10 shirts, $20 shirts, wear them twice, toss them.
Style comes and goes. Style, you see how many times did the fashion change since, I'm gonna say 2005.
And came back.
Averex is back. Pele is back. You feel me? Just a little more tailored now. But they back. Things come and go, man. And it's just like, you have to be authentic to yourself. Like, and that's what keeps me pushing because I'm like, I'm paying attention. The only thing I'm paying attention to is just colors.
Gotcha.
Like,
you running your own race.
Yeah. Because if you like it, there's no hiding it. Because at the end of the day, there's a Bape hoodie that I still want, still to this day, that came out in like 2005. Things don't ever like really go out of style. It's just like, run your own race, man. Like, run your own race because don't try to run the next man's race because you will get lost. You will get lost trying to play catch up because then you start beating up on yourself and you don't want to do that.
So let's jump back because I know we jumped right into the business. Now let's tell people a little bit about you. So I know you were born in Passaic, lived there for a while. You know what I'm saying? Moved to Piscataway. Just different worlds. Tell us about your experience coming up, who you are. Like, tell us a little bit about that, your background.
Oh man, I feel as if my life has been amazing. Even the bad, like it was just like, it molded me, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it molded me a lot. Especially like, living in Passaic, it was dope because it was just like, I feel as if having an older brother who was like, me and my brother 13 years apart, having an older brother and then having like, not blood cousins, but they cousins because like, they knew my grandmother, my grandfather, they grandparents grew up with my grandparents and then my mom and their mom grew up together and so then we all grew up together. So it's just like a family. We're not blood, but it's just a family. So it's just like growing up over there, just running around, you feel me, running around the block. Just being in an urban city was lit.
Community, man.
Yeah, you feel me?
You can't replace with
you can't replace that at all. And then like going down the street to the neighbor house, yo, they telling you, yeah, your son is over here, telling your mom or your aunt or whatever, you feel me, that they over here, they eating food, you know what I'm saying? And it was just dope. And then moving to Piscataway, it was just like, it's time to step it up now. Like, time to get serious, time to buckle down. I came out here to do what I need to do. You feel what I'm saying? Because especially high school was lit. High school was lit growing up in Piscataway. Like, just growing up, period, in Piscataway was lit because I gained a lot of like close friends.
Gotcha.
I gained like a lot of family out here, and I'm always grateful for that, or the relationships that I built out here because like I cherish those a lot. And like even going away to college and stuff like that too. Every relationship that I have with everybody, you know what I mean. And it's just like I keep that close. I keep that close.
I want you to talk about that because that was my next question. You jumped right to it. So you went to college, you played football, you got your degree in finance. You saying you actually joined a fraternity. Talk to us about your college experience and how has that helped you as an entrepreneur?
Yo, college was rough.
Yeah?
College was rough.
What school did you go to?
I went to a lot of schools.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was bouncing around so much, yo. I didn't know what to do. And that's why I said I appreciate this because it was a bad time for me. And I'm going to tell it how it is. Like, bro, I was wilding. Like, I graduated high school. My first college I went to Dean in Massachusetts, right? So I went out there because they recruited me for football. So I go out there, I'm meeting with the coaches like in the summer and stuff like that. And they never told me when to come. But I know school was starting, I already had rolled in classes, so I moved my stuff in and the football team is helping me move my stuff in. So I'm like, where the coach at, bro? They're like, yeah, why you ain't come to camp? And I was like, where the coach at? So me and my cousin up there, and he do art, by the way. Me and him up there, and I'm like, yo, we gotta go see these coaches. They like, yo, the roster's overbooked. You gotta wait till the season over and come back in the spring, but y'all got a spot in the spring. You left 18-year-old people that's already turned up from lifting weights and training for football all this time for just to go to school and then come back to the dorm and work out and come back to the dorm. It was cold in Massachusetts. We're not outside, bro. Training outside in the snow. Super cold in Massachusetts. So we like, yo, we training, but then it's just like, I'm like, yo, I gotta do something else because it's just like, I can't wait. And that's when I said the patient game. I said, I can't wait. So I left. I'm like, I got up out of there. My cousin ended up transferring because he was like, yo, I'm leaving with you. And then some things was going on up there, so I was just like, that
it wasn't a good fit.
Yeah, it was just like it wasn't even the books. It was just like little school drama. You feel what I'm saying? Like things was just going left. So I'm just like, yo, we out. Then I end up not going to school for like a year. I go back to school. I end up going back to school. I think it was like 2014. I go to Middlesex. I get my associates in 2016. Then I went to Southern for a semester. And I was like, yo, this shit costs too much.
Where's Southern at?
Southern Connecticut.
Gotcha. Okay.
I went up there for a semester. I'm like, yo, this costs too much. I can't afford it. I had to double back. So I sat out for another semester. And then next thing you know, it was January 2017. That's when I enrolled back into NJCU. And then that's when I started my whole journey. I pledged.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it was just it was a journey. It was a journey, but I like it taught me a lot because I went like I said, even after I graduated, it was just like I didn't know what to do.
But you were persistent with it, you know, and I think that's an important thing for people to take. Like, it took you a little while to bounce around, but you found it.
Yeah. And
it led you to Jersey City.
And it was just like with me, like I don't quit nothing. Like if I feel as if I can't do something, I'm not gonna even attempt it. Cause I'm not wasting my time.
Gotcha.
Time is delicate.
So how did that whole experience, how does it translate towards the business and the art?
That like my whole
college and everything.
So I could start with that shirt.
Okay.
Right there. Because that shirt means see, first off, I got C&D for that shirt.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And cease and desist for everybody who doesn't know.
Yes,
cease and desist.
Yes.
Okay.
So I had to pretty much take that down. So anybody who has that shirt,
it's worth something.
Hold on to that. Because I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun journey. Like, that shirt is going to, I'm going to double back some way, somehow, to get this collab.
You're talking about this green one right here, right?
This green one right here.
But
it's crazy. But look how it ties together on how the C&D happened, right? So I thought of this shirt because I was looking up designs about like that style type of cross. So I came across that, and I was like, yo, this is perfect because it was just like, as much as I was praying to like God, bro, I still felt trapped. Like I felt trapped, and everything I was doing, I'm like, yo, everything is going left, yo. But I'm keeping my faith. You feel what I'm saying? I'm keeping my faith, and that's why I got the spider web behind like the cross because I'm like, it shows that what happens in a spider web? You get trapped. What does a spider do? It wraps its prey up in a spider web, and then saves it for later and eats it. Bro, time got dark for me at a point in time in my life. Gotcha. And that right there, that shirt pretty much shows me, like, reminds me, like, yo, you got out of there. And you see the cross, obviously the cross is bigger than the spider web, so now we humans now, we could get out of here. You ain't doing nothing to me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's pretty much God, like, showing me, like, yo, like, you got through this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're overpowering this web right now. But
that's art for real.
Yeah, you feel me? And that's how I interpret it. But look, the cease and desist happened. I can't release a shirt. It puts me back in that trap. But I still got the faith in it. And look what I produced ever since then. You feel what I'm saying?
Fresh. It's fresh. All right, so you told us a little bit about that shirt and the experience with the cease and desist. But that design, what you just explained, again, art, getting back to that creative. Talk about that hat. It says, you tell them what it says.
It's right here. Ideas pull the trigger, but the instinct load the gun. Yo, so another way that helped me, influenced me to do this brand was Nas's album.
Which one?
It was written. Gave you power. He described the black man as a gun. So I'm like, all right, bet. And it's crazy, right? Cause peep. This shit is fire, right? Cause yo, I told my brother about this story, how I created the hat, and he was like, yo, that's mad crazy because I did back in like when he was in high school and shit. He did he had to write a poem. He wrote a poem just like I Gave You Power. It was written Nas's album. So I'm just like, yo, that's some ill stuff right there, bro. I'm like, yo, that's mad ill. But nah, so it's just pretty much, it's just like, I broke it down as like, yo, you gotta feed your mind. You feel me? Which is the bullets. You gotta feed your mind. But then when you pull the trigger, that's you acting on your idea. You feel what I'm saying? Because
it's nothing if you don't pull the trigger.
It's just a fantasy. It don't exist. That's just like, if in hood terminology, if you want to call it, that's like having a gun and you pointing it out and you pulling it on somebody. What you bluffing for? You not supposed to do that.
But that's the shooter shoot, right?
But it's not that. It's not that. That shooter shoot means pretty much take the shot on your opportunity.
Yeah.
You feel me? Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. And that shirt right there, you see how it got the 2 revolvers? It's deeper than just some guns on the back of the shirt. It's just like me growing up, I always wanted a twin. So like, yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So I always wanted a twin, and that's 2 same revolvers and stuff like that. So I always wanted a twin, and like I have a twin in a way. You feel what I'm saying? I have a twin in a way, so it's dope. It's dope. I have a twin brother in a way.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? But that right there is just like I always wanted one, and then like when I got one, it's just like I seen the work that me and him do together that made it powerful.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? So like that's right there is just symbolizing you could have the same gun, but you could use it for 2 different things.
Gotcha.
I'm good with this, and he's good with this. We bring it together. What would not only one, but 2 of them come together? What is it going to do? It's going to do damage.
It's crazy.
It's going to do damage.
You know, I think it's interesting too, because even like you would think, and I wonder if anybody's ever pushed back for you for kids, like in terms of Shooter Shoot and TIRADOR, like.
Yeah.
But if you actually get a chance to explain it to the parents, they would understand it's not what they think.
It's not what they think, because when I explained it to like my cousins, and they was like, "Oh, this is."
Yeah.
Like, whoa. And I'm like, why you thinking so negative?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a positive in everything that somebody does. Or not, well, no. Let me rephrase that. And there's a positive in certain things. Because like, for example, photography. What do you do in photography? You take pictures, you shoot.
Yeah.
It's different.
The word has different meanings.
The word has different meanings. Some words really have carry on different meanings.
Gotcha.
And this is a way where I'm like, I took a word that you would think of a negative action and turned it to something positive. And it's just like an action that's going to carry out positive things.
Yeah.
And this brand is going to influence things in kids to do positive things. I'm like, yo, if he could do it, if they're looking at me and they're influenced by me, and I'm just like, and they see what I'm done so far, because I'm like, yo, I'm way far. Like, I'm not satisfied. It's just like, okay.
Just getting started.
Yeah, this is just okay. Like, this higher. I could go harder than this. Like,
I believe it though. That's why you're here, because I know that one day that this interview they're gonna run it back.
Yeah,
this is gonna be one of your first ones, and you're gonna remember you did it with 361 Commission, and we're gonna be here, man. But let's talk about your passion for fashion in particular and where it came from. I know your grandmother, rest in peace, obviously.
Thank you.
Was a big part of that. You talked about Piscataway being somewhere you had to get fly to kind of just be in where it was supposed to be. So talk about your grandmother a little bit and how she influenced you. Talk about Piscataway. Talk about where the passion came from.
Like, yo, it came from all avenues because, like I said, growing up in the urban city, kids they was on Jordan's OD. Not saying that people wasn't in Piscataway, but it's just like we in the urban city. We going to the court. You seeing the hood outside. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like seeing that, and then like seeing like OGs being around my brother, because my brother was in high school already bringing me around. I'm just like, yo, this nigga's out here stepping. Like, they feet fly, fits fly, whips fly, money. They just getting out of school, and I'm just like, you could get fly and do this in school, you would never catch me in the streets wilding. Cause I can still go to school and still do this after.
Yep.
I said, yeah, I'm going to school, get good grades, and I'm out. Cause that's what my brother did. My brother had a 4.0. Graduated high school with a 4.0. You feel what I'm saying? Got fly, did what he needed to do, and boom. So I'm like, yo, if you could do, he was showing me this at the age of 6, bro. And then that transfers over, then moving to my grandmother's crib.
Yeah.
Staying out there, and it's just like, bro, this is how it starts, right? So this is how it starts. So it goes from me going shopping with her every weekend, church on Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't my mom working, you know what I'm saying, like shopping Saturday, every day, Menlo Park Mall, a mall, we in Macy's with it, she running it up in Macy's. If we not in Macy's, bro, we in Bloomingdale's, Neiman's, wildin'. I'm just like, yo. I'm like, I don't even know what this is, yo. I'm just like, I just want to go home and play games. Like, I don't want to even be here. You feel me? So I'm just like, yo, like, but she just really just subconsciously teach me. She was like, get up. And I'm just like, I'm like, yo, I'm like, all right. She was like, what do you think of this dress? I don't know. What you want me to say? I didn't know what to say at the time. But as I got older, she's like, yo, she's showing me different styles of things. And I'm just like, yo, I'm like.
How old were you when y'all was doing that?
I was about like 9. Like,
yo, like
8 to 9.
Like you just said, it's crazy how subconsciously, if you just expose somebody to something, what it does. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was at the age where I'm like a sponge.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm asking questions now, like, why am I here? Like, what are we doing? I'm shopping, I'm showing you style, for real. So then it just goes and goes and goes. And then she eventually stopped shopping because she had so much clothes to a point, bro. Every summer and every winter, switching. No, well, fall, winter, spring, summer, changing her clothes, like in her closets. I'm going in her attics, bringing down clothes, bringing down shoes, just to switch out for the seasons. And she had 1, 2, 3, 4, so about 5 closets filled with clothes.
That's a lot of clothes.
Then she had an attic with closets up there with clothes, bro, and shoes.
That's crazy.
You feel me? But look, but then it like, this is when as I'm getting older, I'm just asking questions now. And my grandfather was a tailor.
You were born into
I didn't
this.
know this until recently. Like, he was a tailor, because he called me one day. He was like, yo, he's like, yo, what's up, Slick? And I was like, hey, what's up? He was like, what you doing? I was like, nothing. I'm just like, just getting some stuff ready for my brand. He was like, oh, what you doing? And I was like, I'm making clothes. He was like, oh, word. He was like, good. And then that was the end of the conversation. And this is when I first started. Mm-hmm. Then I doubled back. He was like, hey, you still doing that clothing stuff? And I'm just like, yeah. He's like, hey, you know I used to do a tailor. I used to tailor pants and everything, tailor suits, all that. I'm just like, yo, what? I said, that's crazy, because I went back to old pictures of him, always in a fly suit, yo.
Yeah.
Always fly, yo. Like, always in a fly suit, son. So I'm just like, yo. Because that's what I always also want to get in. I want to have an extended brand where I'm making suits. Like,
I think that
bringing back, like, Game of Thrones type of suits. You feel me? That'd be some ill stuff, bro.
I think that's even important for, especially the young kids. For us, we do a lot with the community. Mm-hmm. You know, and the kids to be able to see that it's cool to wear a suit. Because, you know, when I was working in the city of Newark, I used to be around in my suit. People look at me like I was crazy, like it wasn't normal. But back in the day, like you're saying, our fathers, our grandfathers, those were the dudes that had the drip and the fleet that we're talking about.
What we wearing is just like,
yep, no go.
Are you okay? Son, are you okay? You didn't have a suit on, a nice tailored suit that fits you, that was only made for you,
Yep,
bro.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know, like, people used to have to get suits made just for them. Like, they couldn't just go in the store. How we could go in H&M now and just really pick out a whole suit, technically, for real. But it's just like, it's not made for you. Like, talking about embroidery on the
I still get mine. My father taught me.
To get your name
told me, like,
on
when I first got out of school, I was going to work in New York. I was doing finance. He was like, always got to be, your parents has to be up to par. My father was best dressed at West Side High School. So, like you said, tailored suit, tailored shirts, that's how it has to be.
My grandmother emphasized that on me. Like, don't be walking out my house looking dusty.
Yep.
Like, if you do, I'm going to be upset. Well, not upset, but it's just like, you're not leaving my house without a fresh cut. And my dad emphasized that too. Like, I don't care if it's your last dollar, make sure you have a haircut. Make sure you have a haircut.
It shows, man. It shows in the branding and the work. You know, the Christmas, just the tote bag, and, you know, when we talk about some of your photo shoots, I just think for somebody, especially with a young brand like what you do, if people check those out, they'll see it's impressive. You know, and I think that sophistication is going to set you apart. It's going to set you apart for sure.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit. Now we're going to talk about the team, because I think people want to know it's hard to be one person behind a brand, and even if they're not officially on the team, you know, talk about the members or people that you need to be successful in the clothing business. Like, if you had $1 million, let's say one of your idols came through and said, I'm going to fund a brand, what does your org chart look like? Tell me who the players are.
It's probably like 5-6 teams I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me the senior person on each team though. Like, what would they be doing with this person? Were you getting somebody to pick up?
I'm having one person handle everything. Like I said, financially, because that's what keeps, obviously, things flowing.
So we got the accountant on the team. Okay.
That's instantly.
Okay.
Then I'm having me personally, and this is me personally, I'm having a public speaker.
Okay. So PR, public relations, you got a public relations person. And is that person, they're not necessarily doing your social media, but are they making connections for interviews? They finding different things, all of those above?
They're doing those. And then sometimes I may tell them, like, yo, take this interview from me.
Gotcha.
Because I don't take it. You handle it. You know what to say, X, Y, and Z. Because I just really want to just create. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Create the photo shoots, and then I said that's 2 teams right there. But obviously I'm gonna be the head of the creation team, so I count that as 3. The 4th would be my media team. Who's in control of the media team? Like, I need somebody that's controlling this. I come to you with what I have, and then you just make it come to life.
And that's videos, photos, any of the above.
Anything above.
Okay.
And then the 5th would be like a therapy team.
Tell me more about that, because that's probably the one that's the outlier of what normal people would typically say.
Because everybody needs a break. So everybody from that's fulfilling these spots in these teams, because obviously I'm just giving you the key leaders.
Of course.
I'm not telling you what they need.
Yeah.
So you feel what I'm saying? Because they're gonna need people to get things running and stuff like that. This was because I said marketing, I said media, but that's very, very broad. Very, very broad. You know what I mean? So, but everybody needs a mental break.
So you watch Billions?
Nah, I haven't.
So Wendy Rose, she's like the therapist everybody goes to and talks to and works out their problems. I agree with you. I think that's important.
That's important.
It's really important.
Be able to express how you feel, and let that out, because then it's just like, once you let that out, because this is how all this I created. It was just a matter of me just finally letting all these feelings out. And it's just like, I let them out already, but now it's just like, I understand, so I can create something to it now.
Gotcha.
And have a meaning behind it.
So, all right, let's stay there, because I think this is important. So, talk to us about your design process. And let's take it, take me step by step. Let's say I have an idea for a t-shirt. Where are you starting? What's the next step after that? And get me to getting that shirt in the package delivered to your customer. Like, give me those steps.
So it takes me about like 2 weeks.
Okay.
To sit on something. I play around because I got an iPad now. So I play around with a lot of things. And then I just, honestly watch a lot of movies. And I just see, I'm just like, what am I getting out of this movie? Like, what's the whole purpose of watching it? If I'm watching it and I'm not enjoying it, but there's a message behind it, then I'm gonna figure something out. How is that correlating to me? Because it's just like, I can't let my substance of my brand like diminish. I can't. Like, it has to be meaningful. Like, and I'm always infinite about that. You can ask anybody. Like, I'm infinite. Like, yo, the message behind my brand has to stay in the root, because this root is gonna be so deep and so strong that when this tree shoots up and it's ready to blossom, when the windstorm, when the fall comes, no branches is breaking off.
So every design you start with, you have to, when you hit that iPad, let's say you're watching the movie again, it's kind of crazy how the video plays in even to the creative process for the shirt. So you'll come up with shooter shoots or ideas, pull the trigger, instincts, load the gun, and you're writing that down on the iPad. And so you playing with the font, or you just putting the basic idea down?
I'm just putting the basic idea down.
Okay.
And then I figure out, how can I do this? And I'll just note it down, because I write down a lot of notes, but sometimes I don't, and I forget to write it down. But I remember the idea in my head of what I want to do. After that, like I said, I just figure out what message am I trying to display? Because like this, like this, for example, this is unreleased. This is probably gonna come out in the fall. Like, I wanted this to represent, like, I was into Power Rangers. This is like one of the symbols, like it's a diamond. It's like one of the symbols that were on their chest. Not only that, but it's just like the message behind. I don't want to say my frat, because I don't want to make this like a frat hoodie, because it's not that, but there was like a saying in my frat where it's just like, pressure makes diamonds.
What were you, Alpha, Kappa?
Kappa.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. But it's just like, pressure really does make diamonds, and it's the science. It's the science of it. So it's just like, ties back to TIRADOR, being a shooter, taking a risk on something that you want to do. It comes with pressure. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, it's been over about like 50 times where I wanted to quit this because of the pressure. Cause I'm like, yo, like, can I really handle this? And one of the things that taught me this was, and it's crazy because it happened to my idol too. I ended up watching it, this interview that he did, like right after it happened to me. And it's the finances. This is why I'm so infinite on finances. And it's just like I said, I'm not in it for the bread, but it's just like, obviously it's coming. It's inevitable to stop it. Like, I can't just be like, yo, like, this stuff is for free. Because then I'll just be like,
what's the point?
I'm shooting myself, quote unquote, no pun intended. You feel me? So yeah, so it's just like, I gotta get that in order, because I wasted a lot of it. But that's what comes with investing in yourself. If you don't, because you're not gonna know what to do. Because especially how people were really supporting me and backing this up, and I was very, very like, yo, like, this is God, and like the people are really resonating with the message that I'm trying to make. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, I lost it, and I felt the pressure of that.
Gotcha.
Not only that, but it's just like, I done lost the pressure of being like that dude in life. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was a point in time I was really, really into social media, where it was just like, I was competing with other dudes. I'm no shame in it, because I got caught up in that trap. Get caught up in the race of like, oh, he got the new Marys on, he got the new Balmains on. I gotta go out and spend my last dollar just to get that, just so I could flex on the gram. That's what I was doing. I was living paycheck to paycheck just to do that.
And you're not alone though. It's a lot of people that do that, man, that go through that, but
it's not worth it.
It's not.
Because you wasting time on what you could possibly be doing. Once you get what you need to get done and you handle your priorities correctly, you feel what I'm saying?
We all like nice things. Don't get me wrong. Right?
Get moderation. That stuff.
Moderation.
You feel what I'm saying? Moderation is like it's cool, because like I said, I got my cousin, prime example. He started reselling sneakers and stuff like that. Like, he's the top reseller in the country.
Yeah.
Like,
we got an episode coming up with some sneaker.
Bro, top reseller in the country. Stupid. I seen when he started off. He wasn't rich instantly. He wasn't out here competing. He was like, nah, I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna show people that I'm really, really serious. And then y'all gonna remember my name. And that's why I'm like, all right, bet. I said, this is a legacy I'm building now. This is not for me. You know what I'm saying? This is for me. I'm enjoying it because this is what I love to do. But it's just like for anybody else that, like I said, that's really trying to do something. Like video games, media, even if you want to just go and get a 9-to-5 job and just do that, but be the best at that.
Find your passion.
Find your passion. Just like Nip said. R.I.P. the great. Find your purpose or you wasting air. You feel what I'm saying? Find your purpose because it's just like, what are you doing?
It's crazy. So Nip is one of your idols?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's interesting, man. I'm a big fan. And even my brother is too. We love him and like real genuine fans to the point when we go to California, we go to the store. And you talk about the energy. Man, just good energy coming from good people. His brother Black Sam's father, you know, when they used to really be at the store.
Right.
But let's switch gears. So let's talk about the manufacturing process. And when you're going in for an order, you know, you got, like I said, a lot of people that want to start clothing lines. Talk to us about getting this type of quality work. How many pieces do you have to get? How do you go about finding those people to print your brands, to print your clothes, or screen print, embroidery, all these different things? Talk a little bit about that, because I know you got a partnership as well too that you know you could either speak on or not speak on, but give people some insight into how they get this type of quality.
Well, first off, I did a lot of research. Coming into this, it was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a lot of like no's, but I was getting like the right yeses.
Gotcha.
So, cause it was just, I was asking people for help, and a lot of people were just like, yo, I just did this, and I'm just like, they showed me what they would do, and I'm just like, bro, this is, no offense, this is Gilded, bro. I don't do that.
You don't do Gilded?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just me. I'm sorry. There's no disrespect. No disrespect. Because at the end of the day, I started with Gildens. And that's when I knew, I'm like, I can't do this.
Gotcha.
This is not what my brand is going to represent, because those shirts didn't, I'm not going to lie, those shirts didn't last.
They didn't
last. So I was just like, yo, I have to start figuring out materials. So one of my friends from high school, we had linked up again, and then we had went to the city. And we had went to this fabric store, and they was just like, yo, look, like, go through this. Like, go through the fabric store, you feel me? Like, see what you like. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what's what. Like, I'm lost. Like, I'm in there, like, it's a whole bunch of yards worth of, like, material. So I'm just like, okay. So then I was just like, you know what? I'm making an obligation to come up here at least once every Saturday.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the Saturdays were the days I was going up
to New York, to the city? Gotcha.
To the city.
Were you in the garment district?
Yeah. I wasn't even buying anything. I was just going up there and I was just asking questions. I said, yo, what material is this?
Gotcha.
What is this? What is this? What is this? Asking questions. I figured it out. I said, okay. Then I started cutting and sewing. I was just like, this is too slow for me.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, but I love cutting and sewing. I love it though. That's the crazy part. I like doing it, but it's just like, it's too slow for me. I'm
Gotcha.
like, and I know myself, I won't be able to produce how I want to produce.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I gotta find an outsource. Went to LA, found out their price, and I said, I can't do it. And I had to be, this is the thing, you have to be real with yourself. Like, people really have to be real with themselves. What can you really afford?
Yeah.
I said, I know I could afford such and such, but I'm not settling with Gildens. Then I found a wholesaler on the internet. I was like, and it was in LA, and I was just like, holy cow. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, this is a wholesaler in LA. I'm like, I went out there, so I don't really need to go back. I didn't find anything what I was really looking for when I was like, cause I'm not gonna lie, when I went out there, I didn't look correctly anyway.
Of course.
Like, I didn't know, cause this is my first time in LA, so I'm just like, I don't know where to go. I just Googled fashion district in LA.
I'm laughing because I did that when I went to LA. It was a bunch of little warehouses. I tried to go in something. I found nobody.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yo, I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, I'm like, this is not it. And then it was just like, I ended up trying to go on a Saturday. They were closed. I'm just like, I said, oh, Lordy. So then I came back to Jersey. I said, yo, I gotta find these blanks, yo. I gotta find some blanks. Cause I had the printer, the dude that was printing the shirts up for me. So I'm just like, I gotta find the blanks.
Gotcha.
So ended up finding some good blanks. and I just started paying attention to what I was buying.
Gotcha.
So I don't gotta say too much in details,
Gotcha.
but it was just like I was paying attention to what I was getting. So I'm just like, all right, now let's really. I know this is this weight. Let me put my own weight to it.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, all right, bet.
And how many pieces did you have to get? Like when you, I guess when you go to your printer, how many pieces do you need to bring?
When I was going to the printer, it was over a dozen.
Gotcha.
So I had to and I had to move them.
Gotcha.
I had to move them. So I'm like, yo, bro, if I don't move these, it's like
a dozen shirts or a dozen packs?
Dozen shirts.
Dozen shirts is where you
blank
started.
Shirts.
Where you started.
I was getting a dozen shirts, but I'm like, yo, this is not enough. So I had to double up. So I had to get like 24 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm paying this and I'm paying this. Then I have to sell it. Then I'm like, yo, this is too much.
Did you sell? So the first 24 you bought, how fast did you sell them?
T-shirts?
Yeah.
Those were Gildans.
How fast you selling them?
How fast I sold the Gildans? Real fast. Cause as soon as I felt what I was doing to it, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get rid of these. These not gonna last.
Gotcha.
So I was like, yo, 30.
Gotcha.
Get rid of these.
$30 for the first shirt.
Yeah.
Gildans. Cool.
Yeah.
So we live in an age of social media where it's easy, you know, as Nip would say, it's the time of the small businesses, right? The large companies are gonna break up. You know what he said on that track, mailbox money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harder and harder for having clothesline because it's crowded, right? Now, tell me what you think is your best path to the customer. Are you gonna do a brick and mortar store? Or are you gonna do a lot of them? Are you gonna just do online? You're gonna direct the customer? Would you wholesale the stores, like, and do a partnership? What do you think your brand looks like getting out to the people?
So for me, I want to do strictly online. I want to do strictly online, but there's always a but for me. I do want to have one local store.
Okay.
Well, probably like two. One in the East Coast, one West Coast, and possibly 3 down south,
Gotcha.
which would be in Texas. So it would be LA, Jersey, Texas. And when I wouldn't put it in New York, you gotta come to Jersey.
Gotcha.
Because New York people like shopping in Jersey anyway.
Yeah.
They don't like paying our New York tax. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'd rather have it in Jersey. People commute, it gives them the opportunity to get out of New York. They come to Jersey, do whatever they want to do. But yeah, I want to have 3, and it's just more so like when you coming in, I want it to be more of like a art experience. You're coming in, it's a vibe. Like as soon as you walk in, it's just like, oh, we're not here for clothes. Like there's art in here, there's aesthetics in here, there's candles in here. Like the music's good. Possibly have like a mini like chef or something. Like
It's a vibe.
it's a vibe, but you came to you. I'm giving you the overall experience.
How are you pricing your clothes right now? Because that seems like an upscale experience, but I know that you're really trying to put your clothes in the hands of the people.
I had to change.
Yeah?
Yeah, I took a loss.
Yeah?
I took a loss. This past fall, I took a loss.
I know we was talking about the business, but
Yeah.
tell me so if somebody wants to get your shirt right now, one, tell them where to go, and then tell me what the price looks like.
Now, good like 50.
Okay.
Before I was charging like 70 for a shirt.
Gotcha.
And I'm just like,
You had to pull it in a little bit?
yeah, I'm just saying this is not realistic. I said, it worked. It worked. But it was a time because of the reason why it worked.
Gotcha.
It was the time. You feel what I'm saying? So it was just like, all right, I gotta bring this back down to reality now. Now we in the real game. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to get like to Marvel type of thing, but we're in the real game now. Like, so had to reel it back in. Had to really just step back and just rebrand. But that was the fun part because it was just like it was a headache because it was just like, yo, what am I gonna do? You know, it's just like, how am I gonna do it? When am I gonna do it? And it's just like, when do I make that jump again?
Man, I struggle with that, right? Because it's like, do you want to be at the super high end and get a smaller amount of customers? Or do you want to be at the low end where you open it up to everybody? But I kind of want to I wanted to keep my brand exclusive, so I didn't want everybody to have it. But I knew that, to your point, when you start going up there, you gotta have a community that follow them to be able to get that top, and you gotta have that quality, like we're talking about, right?
Yes. You can't be pricing something and you getting not the type of quality. Like you gotta have, people gotta be like, all right, I see why I pay for this. Like I see why. Like this is okay, and that's what people was like. when I first dropped my collection last year, I was just like, and people were giving me, yo, this quality is crazy. This quality is crazy, bro.
I'm not used to it.
Hell no. No, at all. I'm just like, whoa. I said, damn, but look, I opened the door because now I gotta really stick to this because the quality cannot drop.
Only gets better.
It has to, and that's just me learning now. Learning materials because that shirt right there is different from, I have this my own shirt on right now, this DMX shirt, but it's different. The way is different. The collars of it are different. Like the cut of it is completely different from that shirt.
Gotcha.
So each shirt, I'm trying to be like, oh, this is different, but it's just like, this can't be going in the wash. You gotta take this to the cleaners. Like, this not no, I'm just gonna throw it in the wash and that's it. Like, nah, you gotta put these in the cleaners. Cleaner work.
That's good. So, and I know we asked you this before, but let's see if you could just, and let's lay them out first. Let's lay them out and then let's talk through them. But what are your 5 tips for success? Just give me the 5 first, and then we could double back and go through each one in a little more detail.
I'm gonna give you the 5 tips, and I feel that I feel is successful. I don't want to say the 5 tips of success because I really haven't seen the success I wanted to see to say if this is successful to use. But doing your research. 2 is being quiet, knowing when to like really take in some knowledge because we don't know everything. I don't care how long you've been doing something, we do not know everything because there's something that's always deeper in the history that we have to figure out, and then we have to transform that history to current times. So it's just like...
No, save that. I want you to keep going. That's 2. Because we're gonna double back. I want to save it because I want to get through them.
My fault.
No, all good.
3 would be paying attention to what's going on around you and how fast things are moving. Not only that, but knowing your pace.
That's a big word. I love that word. Pace is everything.
Yeah, knowing your pace.
Everybody has their own pace too.
Knowing what you can accept in.
Okay. What's 4?
Patience. Patience. And 5 would be don't tell yourself no. Like, don't quit. Like, if you feel as if like this is what you want to do it. Things don't just pop off instantly. And that ties in with like my 4th one, patience.
Yeah.
Because it's just like things don't pop up.
It takes people a long time to realize that, and I think that's why a lot of people just don't make it, right? It's just the consistency to keep going.
I've seen a lot of like celebrities too. Like you've seen celebrities where it's just like, bro, you had it, but you just rushed it and you threw it all away.
Good thing about life and God is you can get it right back.
You get it right back. Day. You get it right back. But it's just, this is the thing, because in that process, because this is where I said I kind of felt this because I felt as if like I was that. I don't want to say like this, but like people looked at me as like, yo, this is a super cool dude. But then like when I had my downfall, it was just like a lot of people like I felt as if backed off. And if you're not strong enough to really like be like, yo, I can't worry about the outside and just focus on me to bring myself back up to not only how they, I don't want to say praise, but how they like thought I was really that cool guy. I have to be that cool guy for myself. I have to have that feeling for myself. If you don't have that, bro, like you dependent on it, on anybody else, you're gonna be lost. Because it's just like, it ties back to this, to the brand of like, even if you try to be a business owner of something, like not everybody's gonna like what you're doing. And people fail to hate to hear that. And it's just like, bro, I'm telling you right now, I worked with super creative people. Like people in the fashion world that's like, yo, I don't know why these my peers aren't in these top fashion shows already, because like they're doing it. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, I work with them and it's just like, they tell me no. And I'm just like, yes. Because not everything I do is fire, and I know that. And people hate to hear that. And it's just like, yo, please embrace that. Embrace that no.
Can't please everybody, man.
No, you're not gonna please everybody because like if you could please everybody, everybody would be doing it.
Fact.
You got to be strong for this. Like this is a strong game. Like especially fashion. This is very very strong. Everybody's not gonna like what you do, and that's one thing I swallowed that pill instantly. I said, yo, this is not photography. You know what I'm saying? This is not football. It's not anything that you've done before. This is something that you're gonna have to accept no. If you can't accept that no, you can't swallow that pill, you're not gonna last. And then you lose your passion, then you lose the substance behind the brand, and then you just like, yo, why am I not making the brand?
That's real. Okay. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna have a little fun now. So we always play this game with our guests called The Choice Is Yours.
Man.
So these won't be hard for you. We just throw them at you. It's normally 2 choices. For some of these,
you got a drink? I got to drink a shot of water?
Nah.
Drink a shot of water?
No shots of water. Off-White or Supreme?
Off-White.
Screen print, heat press, or embroidery?
It depends. I can't.
Now you gotta take the shot for that.
Now
you gotta take the shot of water.
Take a shot of water. Water. This is water, everybody.
So why though?
Because not everything needs to be screen printed. Some things you want to have like. It all depends, cause like I gotta be. It's like for me, it's a mood thing. Like this shouldn't be printed on. This should be embroidered. Like,
Gotcha. I like embroidery. It's just always cleaner to me.
It's super clean. Don't get me wrong, especially like when it's on something like perfectly. You feel me? Like it's super clean, and especially like I like embroidery when the colors can blend in with each other and you're using the same color.
Gotcha.
That's what I like. That's cool.
Fitted or snapback? Or trucker?
I like truckers, but my heart is still with fitted. It's gray bottoms. Like
59, 50 till I
you
go.
Feel me? Yeah, you feel
so
me?
I got
like,
this.
You feel me? That's why I had to give them up a little bit. I was just like, my pops like, yo, you better stop wearing them hats, boy. I said, all right. It's all right, pops.
Bape or kip?
Bape.
Okay.
Bape, yeah, bape. I'm gonna say bape.
True Religion, Gerbo's, or Amavis? I had to throw the third in. I had to throw Amavis in there.
Only reason
we're in Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had every pair of Amavis. And a lot of people don't know this pair. Not a lot of people had this pair. I actually want this pair back when they made the red tags. The red tag on Mavis.
They weren't on a decline then, but they was kind of.
That's when they was switching it up because everybody was on that Rockstar wave and that True Religion look. So they made like a little slimmer jean, and I was just like, yo, this shit is hard, bro. I said, this is hard.
That was a tough one for me. Because the Trues, we used to go grab them when they came out, but Gerbo's, that's old school. And Omavis.
You know what's crazy?
Man.
I couldn't afford the Trues.
Yeah?
I couldn't afford them until I would say my senior year, because that's when I started working with my pops. And that's when I was just like, I ain't had no bills. I was bringing in like $200 a week in high school. This is 2011. $200 a week, I'm having everything. I'm running this up.
And they gonna get mad at me. Because we stopped. We supposed to go. Fubu, Rockaware.
Damn. Fubu was for the culture though. Fubu really started to really cook the culture. But Rockaware was just like, Rockaware was hard. Rockaware was hard.
Which one you going with? I'm feeling good. We made these hard. I'm feeling good.
That one kind of tough. That one kind of tough.
Take the sip of water there. We gonna go to the next one.
I'm gonna say Rockaware because I have more Rockaware than I did Fubu.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I'm taking Rockaware. But Fubu really, because when LL Cool J had the Fubu on and he had the ones, yo, son, you can't tell nobody nothing. Fubu was the word. Was it. Fubu jerseys, come on, bro. This is for the culture, like this is for us, like this is ours.
For us, by
you know what I'm saying?
Yep. All right, Polo or Tommy Hilfiger?
Oh, Polo.
All day long.
Polo Hill. What my son Wayne say? Polo that Hilfiger. Say nah. Hilfiger had it ill back in the '90s though. with the yellow jackets, the yellow bubbles and all that, bro. Like
that's why I said that was a throwback. That was an old school. What you rock with?
But Polo had that South Beach that Raekwon had on. Nobody had it.
Man, Polo is one of those brands that's gonna last forever. Like I mean, they got the Polo Bear, they got the Polo watches. They could take their branding and put it on anything.
Bro, they have Black Label.
Yeah.
The suits.
Yeah. There it is. Look, okay. Adidas, Puma.
I'm taking Adidas.
Okay.
I'm taking Adidas.
North Face, Canada Goose.
North Face, cause I own both, but I kind of like loved my North Face more because it was just more like stylish and it was just like it looked like high tech. You feel me? The Goose was just like cool.
Steep tech.
Yeah,
the
steep
snorkel.
tech. Yeah, you feel me? Like,
all right. Nike boots or Timbs?
yo, I'm gonna tell you a funny story, real quick. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Timbs was always it for me, but Nike boots had a period of time in my life. But my uncle, bro, he was the first person I ever seen with Nike boot ACGs. He was the first person, and me and my cousins clowned him for wearing those. We was like, yo, what are those, bro? Like, yo, bro, what did you just bring home? And he was like, nah, these hardy, comfortable, and it's a boot. You don't gotta be walking around all like, cause you know the construct, this is just a rough boot. So you don't gotta be walking around all like uncomfortable for a while. So next thing you know, I hear Wale's song.
Yep.
Next thing you know, I hear Max B remixed it. I said, oh, these it. And then the way they was doing it with the Trues, how they used to roll I think it was the Billies.
Yep.
The Billy Trues, because that was like the boot cut. They used to roll them up, had it like the thick cuff on the joint. And I'm just like, yo, them shit's like cool, bruh. I said the t-shirt with the BB belt, I said, yeah.
BB Simon, there it is. You already know.
Son, I'm like, yo, that's ill, bro. I said, that's super ill, bro. I said, you can't take that. That's ill, son.
I used to make fun of because I went to school in Virginia.
Oh.
All the dudes from DC wore Nike boots and swishy pants. And I'm like, what are these
What
boots?
is boots? Yeah, bro.
And then I come back up top, like you said, everybody got the Nike boots.
Everybody had them. I don't know, like I don't like getting into that conversation of who started it first, but because it's a lot of Maryland people really they get sporty fly, and I appreciate it. You feel me? Like anything they put on, they fly, but they wearing a lot of athletic wear.
Yeah,
and
swishy pants was they thing.
Yeah, swishy pants and New Balances. They was the first people with New Balances, foam posits and stuff like that. Like it was Maryland people that I was knowing that was rocking foam posits. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, y'all got it, but y'all just wearing it different.
They definitely do. That's a good way to put it.
They were just wearing it different.
Air Force Ones, Chucks.
Oh, Air Forces. I hated Chucks.
Montclair or Burberry?
I would say Burberry.
Okay.
I would say Burberry.
J's or Yeezys?
I'm taking J's.
Okay.
Because that was my first ever sneaker. It was a J.
Yeah.
13s. He got game 13s.
You think you might jump in some sneakers with this as well too?
I would like to. That would be very, very fun. I would really like to, honestly. I have a silhouette that I want to do in my head, but I want to do team up with Jordan to do it. Like,
okay.
Like that would be ill. I'm like, yo, because I got the whole thing planned out already.
Gotcha.
Like I have it like in my head, and I've been telling my friends this for a minute. I said, yo, there's been too many silhouettes of this Jordan 1 going around. Everybody doing a Jordan 1. I say, yo, there's another number that was effective. And it's my favorite number. Like, it's not my favorite number Jordan-wise. It's my favorite number, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, and it's happened to be one of my favorite shoes. So I was just like, I said, a silhouette for this would be stupid, but nobody did it. And if people did do it, they didn't do it right, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like,
well, that's it, man. I mean, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.
I mean, tell the people where they can find you. Any final words, any words of advice, anything you want to tell them about the brand, where they can check you out, but this is it.
Thank you. You can check out the brand on Instagram, TIRADOR _. You can check out my page, OGDevT _. That's where I'll be at most of the time. That's where you can find the link to my brand. Just DM me. You can ask me anything because I'm open to questions on if you want to just how did I get started, like influences me and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm open to questions. I'm open to talk to help influence anybody who's trying to pretty much start something out for themselves. But yeah, man, just keep everything. What I want to leave off with is just, if you're gonna do something, I'm gonna just say it with pretty much what my grandma used to tell me. If you're gonna do something, just give it your 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously everybody heard that, but it's just like me and my grandmother relationship, because it's just like she's seen me, like, so she like, yo, she's seen the trials and errors that I was going through and stuff like that. So she like, if you want to do something, do it your 100. Don't second guess yourself. Take that shot, take that risk, jump off it, but make sure it's positive. Don't do nothing negative like that way. Make sure it's positive. That if you're going to take a risk, make sure it's a risk on something positive, because you won't regret nothing. Because even if you lose, you said that you did it. You feel what I'm saying? This is the thing I love to do, but if I would have took a loss on it, I would have said, I attempted to do this. But it's just now I have to figure out what to do next. Photography. I love photography. Football. I love football. I tried it. I tried both. I can't say I didn't do it. You feel what I'm saying? Don't end off with, I should have did it, why didn't I do it? When you just like, I could have did it, it didn't work out. Because you know the outcome now.
Tell them, respect the shooter.
Respect the shooter. TIRADOR. Thank you.